Hello, my beautiful people. Welcome to your weekly general horoscope with me, Raphael from Radiant Reality. It's an absolute pleasure to have you. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for joining me. So, this week's cards that I'll be using for you are here, and also remember, these are the general energies, trends, and themes that we're likely to be experiencing over the course of the week. These are for everybody. Sometimes it's microcosmic messages, sometimes it's macrocosmic messages, sometimes it's for the wider world stage. With that said, this is always informed by my intuitive message. So every week I go into my intuition and I ask for a message of some sort. Sometimes it shows up like a mini movie, sometimes it's like a word, a thought, an impression, a feeling, and all of this condenses down into a phrase that I will give you as an overarching energy or theme. Now, that being said, before we start, as always, I would like to bless my decks of cards with all forms of love, light, peace, prosperity, and abundance. And I pray that the messages that come through are ultimately clear and concise. They help us all on our path to our highest vibrational good. So for our intuitive message this week, what I saw was a beautiful flowing river, and it was like a really clear flowing energy. It was just beautiful. And what I took away from this was, but what I was being shown in that was that the water just continued, right? It continued on its journey. And so the message that I got from this was, a river doesn't run in reverse. Keep going, right? You've got a direction, you've got a destination, you know where you are headed, you're being pulled forward, you're moving towards something, and maybe you're not seeing the results that you want just yet. Maybe you're not having maybe you're not having the breakthrough that you're looking for and all of that kind of stuff. But the message here is, and especially for those of you that are thinking about backtracking on something at this moment in time, this message is especially for you. This is not the week to do that. This is a week where you have to stick to the path. A river does not run in reverse. Keep going. Fix your eyes to the future. Keep looking forward and keep moving forward. Keep putting one foot in front of the other. All right. So for our Destiny card from the Human Design Oracle deck this week, we have... Dun, dun, dun. Oh, okay. So that one seems to want out. And it is the Gate 61 and Inner Truth. So your inner truth, your inner self, right? Your deeper self, your higher self, your most intuitive self is speaking to you at the moment. And last week we got the message of going direct to source. This week, you're basically being asked to listen to your inner high priestess. Now, the inner truth energy, or the Gate 61, it really is about trusting the part of you that speaks up. And sometimes it will be a loud, roaring voice that tries to get your attention. And sometimes it will be a quiet, subdued voice that is gently trying to get your attention. Either which way, your inner truth, and potentially for some of you, your inner child, is trying to get a message to you. And it's about really taking the time to pay attention to and listen to what your inner truth is telling you. What is your own inner guidance speaking to you about or revealing to you at this moment in time? Now, in terms of a river running forward and, not running in reverse, your inner truth, maybe that small, quiet, resilient voice within you is telling you to keep going and to keep pressing forward. And maybe your mind, your patterns, your conditioning, even your ego is telling you, no, you need to go backward. I don't really think that you do. And I think if you trust and listen to your inner voice, maybe you will come to that same conclusion as well. For your direction cards, so your direction cards represent how you best tap into this, right? So I have this question a lot, actually, when I read for people, a lot of them will say to me like, oh, I know I'm intuitive, I know I've got gifts, but, I don't know how to use them. Well, the first thing is start bloody listening to it. That really is like the first port of call, is to start listening to it. When it tells you to do something, do it. Start trusting that part of yourself. Start trusting that aspect of you that speaks up, and see, right? Just see the kind of changes that take place in your life just from starting to actually listen to your intuition. So your first card out, you have the Five of Wands. So one of the ways that you tap into this is by truly having, because the Five of Wands is a conflict card. All right, it is an agent of chaos, as they have been called before. You've got this with the Fool card, okay, and you got this with the Page of Wands. there's a few things here, right? So one of the things that I will say to you in terms of this direction triplet, you are being urged to maybe have the conversation that needs to be had, right? Or to maybe even, you know, have the argument that needs to be had. Now, the Fool card here does suggest that potentially there's something that you missed or some kind of miscommunication that shows up here. The reason I say that is because sometimes tarot gets really, really literal, and this could speak to an actual moment of foolishness. Now, you've got this with the Page of Wands. The Page of Wands is very creative. The Five of Wands has a very active energy. And so this does suggest maybe, just maybe, there is an escapist tendency this week where it's like, well, no, I'm doing this because it feels right to me and it feels like fun. And you're being asked to ask yourself on a deeper level, am I doing this thing? Am I taking this risk? Am I taking this gamble? Am I, you know, going after this wild activity because it's allowing me not to think about what my intuition or my inner self is actually guiding me towards? Now, outside of all of that, like I said, there's a very creative thread or element that runs through this. For a lot of you, this could be reconnecting to your physical body in some way, shape or form that you haven't in a long time. This could be, like for me, this would be going back to dance classes. If any of you know, I used to dance many years ago, street dance, hip hop, all of that kind of thing was my chosen, and I used to absolutely love it. This could be like, if this were for me, this would be a return to that. Now, your inner truth, your intuition, your inner guidance and wisdom can very often be reached by really getting into and acquainted with your body, or reacquainted with your body. For a lot of you, this is an idea that is looking to be birthed or born. Now, how do you use this? Quite simply, act, but act in a way that is conscious. All right, that's what the Fool card in the middle there really speaks to this. It's like, be conscious of your actions. Really think about what it is that you're actually doing. Now, if we wanted to take this another step further in terms of the layers of the symbolism, what many people don't know is that the staff that the Fool card is holding is actually a wand, right? But it's an unconscious wand because for so many reasons. If you want to take tarot course next year, stay tuned. The next one will be in March. My current cohort of students are doing absolutely amazing stuff. I'm so happy with them, so proud of and for them. Now, taking away from all of that, you've got the Page of Wands has one. You've got the Fool card has one. You've got the 5 here. That's the 7 of Wands. What is the 7 of Wands? It's a battle card. It's about standing your ground. It's about consciously choosing to hold a position. And this triplet, it's almost like there's some part of you that almost wants to kind of throw in the towel or escape from what you know is actually the way forward. Now, with my tarot geek brain and my numerology geek brain, we've got the 61 energy there as well. 6 and 1 gives you 7. 2 7s represents news, which means some kind of information is likely to be given to you this week that maybe your ego or your outer self doesn't really want to hear, but your inner truth and guidance knows that you needed to hear this, and it's the message that's going to spur you into right action. All right, so let's have a look at the direction cards. If we could see around corners, which with all of these spiritual sciences, we absolutely can. All right, you got the Chariot card. Of course you do, right? You also have the Star card, and you have the 2 of Wands, right? So let me move these over a bit. I'll put those there so that you can actually see them, and I'll put these here so that you can actually see them. Now, 3 7s represents, it usually represents infirmity. So 3 7s represents like, can potentially represent where our health takes a dip. All right. Now, that being said, the insight cards, what do we need to know? The Chariot card with the Star card can be some sort of long distance travel. But with the 2 of Wands in tow, this could literally spell a destination that you're heading towards that is a lot more abundant and lucrative than you can currently envision. What it also potentially speaks to as well is you winning out on a longer term goal. So it's almost like you've got two paths that are diverging in front of you. You can take the path that you're on, you know, which is not really you listening to your inner truth and guidance and, you know, end up where you end up, or you can hold to it and you can keep going. Remember the intuitive message: a river never runs in reverse. Keep going. All right. The only thing that I would say to you here is probably take your time with it. Slow down. You will reach your destination, and isn't it better to reach your destination in one piece? The other thing with the star card here, the star card with the Two of Wands, that is future financial success that is all but assured. And with the Chariot card here as well, it happens in less time than you envision, but more time than you want. And so there's a need to find some sort of personal patience here. I will say as well, when it comes to anything in the digital or online sphere, whether this is websites, whether this is online learning, etc., take your time to build whatever it is that you're working on or through. If you rush it, it's not going to have the same effect. All right. On the wider world stage, this does speak to a potentially a large court case or payout of some sort. So a group that's gone up against a corporation or a school or a college or a university, or, you know, it doesn't have to be any of those, but you kind of get my point. There's going to be like a large payout that we see to a group of people. Interestingly enough, there's nothing, well, actually these cards kind of suggest it, but I don't know if you remember, so some years ago, a bunch of people who were abused in care homes, etc., as children came forward in the UK. And there was like a whole committee that was created to take all of the evidence, etc. That court case I don't think has ever been settled. I wonder if this is that they get some kind of monumental payout, like something that, you know, a number that just seems like incredible. Not insane, because given what these people went through, no amount of money will ever take away from that, to be fair. And some of their stories are really, truly fucking harrowing when you read. Yeah, anyway. So yeah, that's one way that this could show up on the wider world stage. Here, this is some kind of performance that we're going to see that really divides the masses. This could be a music video. It could be, there's going to be some kind of art form that is released that will get an uproar. Like, people are going to be like, you know, clutching pearls. I can't believe that you said this in your lyrics, or, you know, can you believe they had this on stage? Like, it's going to cause some real outrage, and it will be interesting to, I have an idea of where I think this is going to come from, and I actually have an idea of who I think it's going to be, because as I was looking into that, like with my intuition, I could, like, there's something flashed up. It will be interesting to see how that plays out though. With that said, I wish you an abundance of all of that good stuff. Please, all of you, don't forget to hit that like button. Please don't forget to share this with somebody that you feel might get something out of it. And if you are continued subby, you know Rafi loves you. If you're new to my channel, please don't forget to like, share, and if you should so choose and it resonates, hit that subscribe button and help me get to that 100k YouTube plaque. I'm coming for it. It's about damn time, right? Anyway, take care and I'll see you soon.